Alright, hey you guys, this is Desmos, and this is just a video on how to work with Desmos. Really great place. It's seriously, here I'll give you, here's the website, desmos.com. Okay, and if you go there, you should be able to find pretty much everything that you need for any of your calculating needs. Okay, now some of the calculations you do kind of have to follow. You don't need a separate scientific calculator to do some of the stuff on here, and you don't need a separate graphing calculator because this thing does both. So if you need to do calculations like 34 times 86 minus 1234, you know, you can get your calculations pretty fast. You could also do complex stuff, so parentheses 54 minus 7 parentheses divided by 4, and you could do some complicated division stuff like that too, you know. And you could do your trig, sine of 45, you can do it right there, although you do have to make sure your calculator is in degrees or radians. It's up to you how you want to do it. So if you wanted to do sine of pi halves, oh, this one's tricky. You've got to separate the pi. There we go. Sine of pi halves. Okay. And you can actually get your answers a little bit faster this way. So it's really kind of cool how it works. It's nice because most graphing calculators, they won't do this as much. Now, over here on this side, there's a couple of things. That's my screen name, so you can share your graph with me by using my Gmail. And my Gmail is just my first and last name with V in the middle and then at gmail.com, so you could share graphs that way. But this little wrench right here will get you all the information you need. So you could change your grid to polar if you want. You could change the x-axis, and if you'd like to do steps of pi, especially for those people in pre-calc, this is how you change your graphing calculator to that, so that's really nice. That's really, really nice. Okay, and if you'd like to switch back, you just put it to steps of 1, or in this case 2. Okay, and then you could quickly switch between radians and degrees. Obviously that's going to screw with your answer, so you need to know which one you're working with. Okay. Alright. You can print your graphs, you can share your graphs with people. Right here is the help menu, and you can go through and see all the stuff that you need to work with, so everything that you need to do. So, you know, it's just a really gorgeous graph on how to work stuff. Okay. Alright, you can also graph on here, like I was saying earlier, y equals 3x minus 2. Okay, you can graph some nice stuff. You can also graph some complex stuff. Y equals x to the third, then you have to move the cursor over, and you'll find out the little tricks that work with this as you go. Minus x squared, let's make that a big one, let's make that a 6. Nope, that's too big. Let's go down to 2, and as you can see, it's instantaneous, so it's really nice to just work with this stuff. Plus 3x, yeah, there we go. I like that. That's a funky looking one. Also, you can toggle them on and off by just clicking on the buttons over here, so that's really cool. So you can take a look at some. You can also look at intersections between graphs, or you could look at the intersections. You could look at the intersections with the axes. So that's some really neat stuff that you guys can do right there. Okay. Alright, you can also graph hyperbola or conic functions. So like, for example, y squared divided by 9 plus x squared divided by 25 equals 1. There you go. You've got your ellipse. And if you'd like to add some specials in there, you can too. So you can do your conics, and it doesn't have to just be there. Now, another thing you can also do is you can also make sliders, and these are pretty cool. In other words, it's putting variables in places where you don't expect to see variables. So like y equals, let's go mx plus b. Okay, and then it'll ask you to make sliders, so if you'd like to keep one of them constant, you can. I like to add sliders to all. So you just get sliders right here, and let's make a darker color. There we go. Oh, stupid. Okay. Alright, and you can change the values, and as you can see, as I change the values of the slope, the entire graph goes wonky. It's pretty cool. Alright, and if I also change the y-intercept, the y-intercept changes as well. And you can kind of see the direct correlation between the two. And the other cool thing is that, and you can do this with any graph. You could do this with something as simple as this type of graph, or you could actually have a hyperbolic graph, or you could do sine graphs. So y equals a sine of hx. Oh, I probably should use a different letter other than hb. There we go. Okay. Oh, I already have that one, so that makes sense. So you can mess with it, you can screw around with it, and just do all kinds of things. And you can see the effect as it goes on a couple graphs at once. So that's pretty cool. Oh, let's make this. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And the reason why when B moves both graphs is because of the fact that I have it as a slider and I still have it in the equations for them. Okay, now if I turn off one, I'll just see the effect on one of them. It kind of looks like a sound wave, so that's kind of cool. Alright, let me see, what else can you do? You can go up here to edit list, and you can add tables to your values if you'd like. You can duplicate and just duplicate the same one and then just change some stuff. You can delete all of them if you'd like. I do know that you can change the colors. You know, you can make it dotted. You can do whatever you want. Also, if you're particularly proud of a graph, you can go up here and save changes. You would have to name it. Or you can go click over here and see all the graphs you have saved. So like for example, let's see this one. You can see a new graph and just work with it, and it's really kind of cool how it works, especially parabolic tangents. And you can switch in between. You know, now if you don't save, it will kind of mess it up and make your whole thing kind of screwy. Okay, and this is one I've saved. You know, and I can change the H and the K. And let's change A and B. And this is the conics for you guys. Let's go back to 6. There we go. So, I mean, it's some pretty cool stuff that you can work with. That is pretty much it for the graphing. Guys, you'll discover so much stuff about this. Oh, no, I did forget about one thing. It's the keyboard. So if we go back to a blank graph, I'm going to go back to a blank graph. The keyboard is down here. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can put your variables in. You could type in the exponent and just get those across. Here's also your values for your inequalities, your square roots, pi, everything's in here. And if we switch it up, let me see. We can also get theta in here. I believe this is, I don't know what that one is. Okay, and you can click through all the functions that can work right up here. So it's really kind of some really cool stuff. Like for example, you can do some calculus if you'd like. You can also do some statistics and probability right here. Here's the braces. Okay, so for example, if you'd like to graph something really funky, and this is for the trig kids in the room, r equals 3 cosine of theta. And let's do 5 minus. There we go. And you can get this funky looking graph. This is called a cardoid stuff. So it's really kind of cool how it works. Alright, I will leave it to you guys to go check it out and stuff, but just remember the keyboard options at the bottom. Take a look at it and just mess around with it and just have fun. Make your own accounts. It's free. It does everything that you want. Okay. Alright, you guys, you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later.